So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to The Country Investor. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in. So in this video, we're going to go over what it's like being a minority and becoming an entrepreneur. So stay tuned. So welcome back, guys. So like I said, we're going to go over what it's like being a minority, specifically Hispanic, and growing up with a Hispanic family, Hispanic culture, and trying to become an entrepreneur. It's been almost 2 years since I've had a job, since I've held a job, which I love. I've loved it. It hasn't been easy, but I definitely love it. But I'm going to kind of describe my environment and what it's like growing up with Hispanic parents, and how they think about it, and then how they tell me about it, what they think about it. So coming from a Hispanic background, Hispanic parents, you're always taught, you go to work, you go work hard, you're going to climb the corporate ladder, or you go work hard and you're going to go to school. The entrepreneurship, investing, none of this was even an option. None of this was even put into my head. It wasn't until after I got out of college that I experienced a lot more, and I started self-educating myself in a lot of other things. But prior to this, I had no clue about investing, no clue about entrepreneurship, no clue how to do any kind of business stuff. Just to give you a little background on my parents worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet, to raise me and my sister. So you can see where they're coming from. They're coming from the old school mentality of you work hard and you earn what you make, and you keep working, and you just make ends meet and do whatever you can to make it work, right? That's how my parents were brought up. That's how they raised me, to become a hard worker, which I still do, but in a different way. So fast forward, I'm 26, and when I was 26, I basically made this lofty goal. At the time, it was a lofty goal. I didn't really have anything in place, per se, to retire by 36. So I gave myself 10 years to retire. Told my parents this, told my sister this, told some family, told some friends. Of course, that was a pretty lofty goal. Nobody even expects to even retire these days. People were working up into their 70s, 80s, well past their golden year, way past 65. So when I told I lost my mom when I was 21, so FYI. So I couldn't tell my mom this, but I told my dad, and luckily I do have very supportive parents. They are Hispanic. They are, they have the Mexican culture in them, but they are very supportive. So he didn't technically like that idea. He thought it was a little risky. He thought it was, way out there, way out in left field. He let me know how he thought about it. He said, are you sure this is something you want to do? Are you sure? Because at the time I had a 6-figure paying job at this time. Actually, yeah, I did. At that time I already had a 6-figure paying job, so I was making good money. Especially where I come from, making 6 figures is crazy. So fast forward 2 years, I'm now 28. Throughout that time, I already had started buying real estate, investing into stocks, crypto, different types of things. Towards the end of my 28th year, I ended up leaving my job and pretty much fast forwarding my 36-year-old plan. I was planning on retiring at 36 to now 28, which happened very fast. I did have a lot of capital saved up at that time. It just so happened it kind of just exploded and kind of rapidly. I didn't realize that was going to happen. But yeah, whenever I was leaving the job, my dad was like, "What the hell are you doing? Why would?" Before I even left it, he was like, "Why would you leave this? This is a safe job. You can climb the corporate ladder. You're comfortable. You'll be set for life." Well, I wasn't really happy. I wasn't really happy doing that. It wasn't fulfilling to me to be there doing something I didn't want to do, being told what to do, having to cancel vacations because now you're scheduled to work, dealing with bad employees, bad coworkers, whatever. It wasn't enjoyable for me. I really wanted to go out and do my own thing. I bounced around from job to job after I graduated college just to get the highest paying job I could get. And I landed at 6 figures, which put me where I wanted to be. And when I had told my dad I wanted to leave, he thought it was absolutely crazy. He wasn't sure if it was a good idea, and yeah, he was a little skeptical, to say the least. like I said, take his, where he's coming from. He's used to always having a job, if not one job, multiple jobs, just to make ends meet. So for me, not having a job was a big deal. And I didn't want to let my family down. I didn't want to let him down. And my sister, she was raised exactly like me. When I told her this, she's like, she calls me Robbie. Robbie, are you sure you wanna do this? Like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you sure you can make it? Things like that. I wasn't sure, but I was gonna try my dang hardest. I was gonna work my butt off to make sure this works out. So it was a lot of it was a lot of convincing and having to reflect on, is this what I want to do? And of course, doubt creeps into your mind, especially when you have, other people telling you things like that, or you're telling yourself that, am I enough? Am I enough to do this? Am I smart enough to do this? Am I capable of doing this? Because prior to this point, I have never been unemployed. I've always had a job. Been working since I was 8 years old. 8 years old up until 28, right? That's 20 years of working. I've never been unemployed. So being in a position where I'm unemployed and working for myself was going to be a huge change for me. And I didn't know where this was going to take me, but I'm glad it did. I'm pretty sure when I told my family what my plan was, they probably thought I was crazy too. They just didn't tell me. My extended family outside of my dad and my sister, I'm sure they probably thought I was crazy as well. But like I said, it's been almost a year and a half, and I'm still doing it, still alive, still kicking. So loving every minute of it. I wouldn't take it back. And it hasn't been easy. It's been hard. It's been challenging. It's been difficult because now everything is reliant on you and what you can produce, what you can do, how much work can you get done. Again, there is other systems where I can automate certain things, but I'm not to that level yet where I can do that. So right now it is a little bit difficult to do that kind of stuff. Now, luckily, I do have a supportive father and a supportive sister and fiance on top of that. We all kind of came together to start creating, we created these geodomes, which if you don't know what they are, I will leave them down below in the description so you can check them out. They're pretty cool, pretty unique. Probably haven't seen this before, especially in this type of way. But yeah, so like my dad would come out here and help me with all the labor-intensive work. He'll come out here and cut the grass. My sister helped me with the structures. Everyone kind of pitched in, which is good. Having a Hispanic Mexican family, everyone kind of does come together to help each other out, even if they may not think this is the right thing to do, which I don't know if they did or didn't at this time. But yeah, they were still willing to lend a helping hand, still help out, and to help the dream come true. So again, when we were going into this business, I didn't have the education or the knowledge on how to get funding for things like this. So it was a lot more difficult for me. I had to pull everything out of pocket to pay for everything. It wasn't easy, but again, we as Hispanics, we aren't really taught the business side of life or the business side of things. And this is something I wish I would have learned when I was, younger or getting into this situation. I wish I would have been taught all this stuff. But again, we aren't taught this stuff. Minorities, most of us are not taught this kind of stuff. I've kind of just learned along the way, made my mistakes. Oh, don't do that. Now I know what to do next time around. But yeah, it's definitely harder getting funding as a Hispanic. It's harder to get more eyeballs on that specific project. Again, I'm not trying to pull a race card or anything like that. And that's not what I'm here for. Just trying to kind of explain my journey, coming from a minority standpoint or viewpoint. Anything can be done, guys. Like, it doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter who you are. Anything can be done. I truly believe that. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you can get it done. There's always ways to get things done. It just takes maybe a little bit more creativity, but it can happen. Now, be it that I am a minority, I am Hispanic. Hispanics, Mexicans were known for being real labor intensive. Well, that's no different here. I do a lot of the electrical work, a lot of the plumbing, a lot of the dirty work myself. That's the luxury of being a minority, being Hispanic. My father and father-in-law and uncle, and all of them have taught me a lot of trade skills. So that's helped out, and that's a positive of being a minority, is you have access to people like that that know trades. Also equipment, farm equipment, things like that. I've learned how to use stuff like that doing all these projects. So in that aspect, it's been a positive having access to that. But again, with today's age, even if you don't have people who can teach you those kind of skills, we have access to the internet, YouTube, where you're watching me right now. We have access to learn all of those different trades that people back then would have never had the opportunity to do. So just because you are a minority doesn't mean you don't have the ability to learn the necessary skills to get to where you want to be. So that's pretty much how I learned everything, is through YouTube, books, and then any of the trade value skills has been from actual people that are around me. Because minorities, we usually work in those types of industries. But yeah, guys, I wanted to just give you a quick little rundown of what it's like being a minority. Like I said, it's difficult for your parents to handle it because we're not taught that. We're taught, get a good paying job and retire in 30, 40 years from that job. But yeah, in the end, I still had my family, extended family. They were still very supportive, whether they actually believed in it or not, or believed that I could even retire or not. They were still very supportive. No one ever really put me down, I guess I could say, but just kind of questioned whether that was the right thing to do or not. So it's different. Like I said, if you come from a family that already has businesses or is in the business field or has access to that, maybe a little different. But again, there's a little, questionable action if you're trying to do entrepreneurship as a Hispanic family, because people they never used to seeing anything like that. They don't know nothing about that, so it's foreign to them. So it is a little difficult, but again, go with your gut, go with what you really, really want to do, go with what you really believe in, and go with what makes you happy in the end. But yeah, I hope that was insightful for you guys, just to give you a little bit of rundown of what it's like being Hispanic, and kind of going on your own, venturing on your own, and doing entrepreneurship. Like I said, it's not easy. It's hard. It is a little harder being a minority, but it is a little bit more accessible today than it was, 20, 30 years ago due to the internet. So without further ado, guys, I hope you all enjoyed that quick little, I guess, tangent that I went on. But yeah, until next time, guys, we'll see you later. Be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. See you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.